Jingle them bells and frolic. Oh, by gosh, some stolly. Eggnog, gin and tonic make Yuletide gay and jolly. Same procedure every year, I just can't get enough. I drink till Rudolph reappears, a toast to him, that red-nosed deer. Jingle them bells and frolic, it's the best day of the year. Come fly with me now, Rudy. I'm Walter.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, to a brand new video. Welcome to VLOGMAS episode 11. I'm so excited for these last two videos, I'm not gonna lie. I'm ready for a Christmas break. I'm sure you guys all are too when you finish work and you're ready for all the festive food and the festivities and the singing and the dancing and the plain old vegging out on the sofa, because let's be honest, we all do it, don't we? In fact, are you guys like this? But we're all so busy, aren't we? In the lead up, we can't wait to finish for Christmas, and then when Christmas comes and the day's gone, that week between Christmas and January, oh, that's the most depressive week ever. And I think the reason is because it's boring. It's boring. We're all so used to being busy and on the go that when we do stop and rest, it's like, what do I do now? Apart from just sit here, vegging on the sofa, eating all the food and feeling like a piece of shit. So every year we do a house tour, a Christmas house tour on my channel, and this year is no different, but this time we have a renovation Christmas house tour. If I'm being really honest with you guys, I wasn't going to film a Christmas house tour this year. I thought, oh, it's not that great, there's, you know, it's not that aesthetically pleasing. Obviously I'm stood on bare floorboards right now, we'll get into it. Most of you know this already. And I wasn't going to film a Christmas house tour, but it's a little bit of a tradition that I do on my channel. I'll leave the last renovation that we completed, Christmas house tour, what we filmed last year, in the description box down below, so you can see how it all looked in the end at Christmas especially, so that's all good, always nice, isn't it? But yeah, I wasn't going to film it this year, and I sat there and I thought, oh my god, you silly girl, like, get the video filmed, because these are the memories. This Christmas, we're halfway through a renovation and we're going to remember it like that anyway. We're going to say, remember when we bought the house? Remember when we bought that house and we was in the middle of a renovation that Christmas, but we made it work and it still felt so magical? So I asked you guys on a poll, and the majority, wow, voted for this video to be a renovation Christmas house tour. So what I'm going to do is show you around the house with all the Christmas decor that I've managed to do this year. And we're also going to take a little look back at the house when we first bought it. So I hope it all makes sense, but I want to give you guys a tour now at Christmas, halfway through kind of a thing. I was going to wait until a year mark, but let's just do it now. And I want to show you the difference so far in today's video, obviously along with all the Christmas decor bits. So I hope it all makes sense. So I'm going to start with a little bit of a brief backstory. We bought this house, our second renovation project, back in March 2023, and what an exciting journey it's been. Most of you have been following along. I have got a renovation series. It starts with an empty house tour of the house when we first bought it, before we started the work, which is really interesting to look back on. In fact, me and hubby were looking at some of the clips because I'm going to be using them in today's video. But if you want to watch the full renovation series from start up until now, they're all numbered, so it's dead easy, and I'll link the playlist down below if you haven't already checked it out. So this one is a period property. It's Edwardian to be exact, and it was built in 1906, which makes this house 117 years old. As most of you know, it was a big old creaky leaky house and it was in desperate need of some TLC, let's just say that. So yeah, myself and my husband, with no real background in property renovations or interior design set about restoring its period features, and we also wanted to add back in some period features that we feel like the house should have had in the beginning. Maybe it did, we don't know. Obviously it changed hands a few times throughout them 117 years. So I think we should start with the period features in this home that we have kept, obviously. Yeah, these features are the features that sold us on this house. So let's have a little look. And here is that same ceiling today. We absolutely love it. It almost feels ethereal, you know, because it's pure white now. From the previous footage, you will have seen it was yellow. In fact, it was worse in real life, and it stunk. It stunk of tobacco. It was yellow with tobacco when you saw it previously just now. And now it's all been painted up white. And like I said, it's almost ethereal. And that's the ceiling view. You never really get this view on my videos because you can't get the height of the ceilings in the shot. Here is the ceiling rose, but yeah, it's the stunning ceiling detail which sold us on this property. The next period feature that sold us on this house is this vintage front door. Let me stand back so you guys can see it in its full glory. It's got stained glass at the top there. Now, Edwardian times on the research suggest that you can tell which period the stained glass is from because of the design, and apparently Edwardian stained glass is tulips. So I'm guessing these are meant to be tulips. However, I don't know who designed those tulips, but we reckon, well, my husband reckons they look like aliens. Joelle, my daughter, reckons they look like Harry Potter, and I just can't unsee either. And next door thinks they look like cats. But yeah, that's our vintage front door. And I think this front door sold us on the property. I did not take any proper footage back in March, so I'm going to pop on the screen a picture of what the door actually looked like. I've actually restored it as best I can to the best of my ability. You've got to understand that this front door is vintage. It is 117 years old. So yeah, that's our amazing front door, and it's right central to the property. And like, you come in and the stairs are right there, so like you come down the stairs and you're in the middle of the property. It's gorgeous and I love it. Definitely sold me on the house, and also as well back in March. Well, actually we've still got it. So this is the brass doorknob. It also had this big fancy thing here. We've actually not put that back on because we just felt like it looked nicer without it, but we've polished up the original brass doorknob. I did want to relocate the brass doorknob to the middle of the door, but apparently all the trappings are all here, so it's going to be a pain to mess around with that. But basically what I was trying to say is, look at that key, big vintage key, love it. So I'm already inclined to forage for a lot of my Christmas decorations. I started doing it last year in the old house that we renovated, and I really enjoyed just the nature of it all. And I just feel like it feels more Christmassy, and I'm a very creative person. These are the ceramic bells from B&M. I couldn't believe it. They look like White Company, don't they? And yeah, I've used those bells just to hang on this little door wreath holder. This was also about £2. It's like brass from B&M, and I just think it makes the door look absolutely spectacular. We've actually made this wreath from foraged evergreens. It's a little bit crispy, not gonna lie, but I think it's still looking rather gorgeous. Next up is above the front door, so we're in the hallway here, and hopefully that's showing up on camera, but can you see the ceiling detail here in the ceiling in the hallway? It's absolutely magical. There's the ceiling rolls, all original plaster, and it's very thick. Like, oh gosh, It's so thick. Who remembers on the renovation vlogs, the plaster was crumbling off the walls. Obviously we've had it replastered on the walls. But as we was taking off the old plaster, which was crumbling on the wall, it was crumbling right up to this detail, and I was praying that this would not get, like, it wouldn't fall down, do you know what I mean? Because it's beautiful, isn't it? It's just stunning. So that's the view in the hallway, and like I said, you just don't get the shot. That's what I'm saying about this house. It was the feeling it gave me when we did the viewing, and I don't think that came across in the empty house tour. I don't know if it did, but I was so excited because I already had a vision in my mind of what this house could look like. And again, in this room here, so this is our formal living room, what we've been calling the Snug. And this room also has some ceiling detail, a gorgeous ceiling rose. We've just kept it and painted it over it in white. We do everything in white to begin with anyway. And let me see if I can show you the ceiling detail up here. There's been a few cracks in the ceiling. We've tried to restore and repair it. I think you can see up here, which I love actually. Which I love actually because it shows the character. Like, I loved the other ceiling. It was a little bit cracked and I just loved how it looked. And this ceiling is not as fabulous as the family room ceiling. It's not as decorative. It's very formal in this room. So yeah, this is our Snug. And again, the height and the ceiling detail just sold us on this property. Also, this bay window, I cannot even describe to you how large this bay window is unless I propped you up on a tripod and stood on the windowsill to show you how big it is. But for reference purposes, my husband is 6'5" and he can stand on this window and still not reach the ceiling. That's how big this window is. And if you see outside, we live right in the woods. It is magical. You can imagine all the foraging I'm going to do next year for Christmas, because this house is going to take some decorating. That's what I've learned this year. Obviously we've done some little bits, but yeah, next year we're going to do loads of foraging. Luckily we lived right here in the woods, and do you know what, when we saw this listing and we came to view it, it never said at one point, it never said that this house was overlooking the woods at all in the listing. So you can imagine the surprise when we walked into this back room here and we just had this view, and I was just like, my jaw fell to the floor. I looked at my husband because I could just imagine winter, snowing. Another thing that sold us on the house was all of the fireplaces. So this house has a fireplace in almost every room, or so we thought from this footage when we bought it back in March, until we uncovered even more fireplaces. It's so exciting. We now have, I think it's 6 fireplaces in total in this house. So here we are in the Snug room now, today, and we've lost a wall. And now we've got arches. We've got paneling on the walls and all the light fixtures up, but mainly the fireplace. So as you can see from the previous clip, the fireplace was all bricked up, and I'm gonna pop a video on the screen of us uncovering this fireplace, and we really could not believe how they bricked all the fireplaces up so much. Well, we actually did understand because we had a storm once and the wind was howling down these chimneys. There's so many chimneys in this house. But yeah, this is what we're looking like at the moment. We've also popped in real stone hearth at the bottom. So as you can see, we wanted to preserve its vintage features, stunning vintage features, but we also wanted to breathe new life into the place as well and just bring it back to life, fit for purpose for today's family and how we live in today's world without losing its heritage. So yeah, we started with the layout, and unfortunately that meant knocking down some of the walls and rebuilding new ones because the layout, it just did not work at all. And what I mean by that is the rooms were all really closed off. To get to another room, you had to walk down a really creepy corridor built into the house that went all the way around outside of the rooms, like behind, to get to another room. It was just really, really closed off. But instead of standing here trying to explain that to you guys, I'm going to show you. So I've taken clips from that first empty house tour video when all the walls were up. It was exactly how it was when we bought it. Like, it was so nostalgic watching back. And this was only filmed back in March this year when we first bought the house. But so much has changed in the house since then. So what I'm going to do is try and position myself in the same spot as I filmed that first video so that you can see the view and the same angle, hopefully, more or less, so you can see how much the view has changed completely. Me and Ash last night, we was in awe of how much it's changed. Anyway, let's just look, shall we? So here is the fireplace, what we now call the cooking station, the mantle in the kitchen. And what a surprise it was, because when we knocked back that wall, we discovered this fireplace. It was like 5'3" tall. It had the curve naturally in the brick. Like, hello, there's not a builder today that could do that. Like, I thought we were getting better with the times, clearly not. And yeah, we uncovered it, we kept it, and obviously we've put in a range cooker here just to make a feature out of this fireplace because it was just spectacular. So this is the kitchen door originally, which was open already, and we also knocked out the side of this side so you can go all the way around. And in the back room we have our working kitchen, butler's sink, butler's pantry, dog wash, all of the boot room and all that stuff. I think you all know that already, but let's give you a quick tour. There's the sink area, and then if we come this side, this is behind the mantle at the other side. We've got the boot room, not quite finished that yet, but you can see it coming together. And then on this side we have our laundry, bins, dog wash, dryer, all of that good stuff. So this is what you see now from this view of the kitchen. We've obviously knocked out the wall here, and that's where the big cupboard were in the previous footage. So we can see right over now into the family room, which is part now of the kitchen diner. So I can be cooking and people can be sat in the lounge diner area. I'm actually stood where the corridor was. Now you can't see because now we've got built in our fridge and pantry station because we actually extended the kitchen into this room. But you can see on the floor where the wall came down. So that was the corridor where that creepy window was down at the bottom. And now we in there where the creepy window was, we have built a little cloakroom feature so that we have a downstairs loo. As you can see, we've not quite finished that yet. So the wall came down and we built in an arch here and also an arch here. So now you can see right through to the kitchen. In fact, we extended the kitchen so it now comes into an L shape, and this will all make sense once I get a Welsh dresser here and finish off the kitchen. We've got the fireplace, which is coming along. Again, another fireplace in here that was bricked up, and we uncovered it. It had a natural arch in the brick. It was absolutely fabulous. We've tiled it and obviously popped in more stone for the hearth. And we've not finished this window yet, but we did knock through this wall so that you can just walk through the house and it functions a lot better into the other room, and then stairs up in the middle of the property here. I had a clear vision for this house and I wanted archways. I learned lots of them, and my husband knocked down the walls and the new openings. He created me these arches, and I think he's just bloody brilliant. Everywhere you look, there's an archway view, and it's stunning. So this is the view of the stairs from inside of the Snug. So you can be sat in here and you'll see whoever's coming down the stairs, and just everything's a little bit more open and sociable. And you can see that beautiful front door, which is the main focus here, isn't it, in the hallway. So I'm glad we've opened up the walls. I'll show you the hallway. Upstairs, the landing even now compared to when we first bought the house. And again, I hope you can see that detail in the ceiling, the ceiling detail, and I hope it's coming up. It's because it's all white, sometimes the camera doesn't focus, but that's the ceiling detail again, original in the hallway. And this is my view from my bedroom into the hallway. Okay, and this is my bedroom. Guys, I've had to shut the curtains because the lighting in here is absolutely terrible, so we're using studio lighting again just so I can show you this room. And we have got the woods view at the back in the bedroom here, so I'll show you from this angle so you can see what it looks like now compared to before. It had all the built-in wardrobes around it, and then if we come down here, it had built-in wardrobes and a dressing table here, and we actually uncovered another fireplace here, which is really exciting. It's so nice to have a fireplace in your bedroom. It's so big in here. Now, it did have original ceiling detail inside where the cupboards were built over, and then the ceiling, which were exposed, was new, so we couldn't save the detail in the ceiling, so we've had to have it all just replastered like a square bloody matchbox, like a new build. And then we've put normal coving up, but I might add some mouldings back to the ceiling so that we've got that beautiful detail again, because this room was meant to have it. It had it right from the start. So yeah, and I absolutely love my bedroom. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed this little Christmas house tour renovation edition. I hope you've enjoyed popping along with me and all the nostalgia of the Christmases gone by, and I hope you can feel all my excitement for the Christmases to come. But me and Ashley would like to thank all of you guys for joining us on this renovation journey with all of its highs and its lows and its dust and its illnesses. Let's not forget the dust. I'll never forget the dust. I think the dust is still settling. But it's been an incredible year, hasn't it? And we're both so excited to get going again with the renovation in 2024. Thank you all so much for tuning into this video and watching this Christmas house tour, and I will see you in Vlogmas episode 12, our final video of this year, you guys. I hope to see you all there. Bye guys.